It's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 133, and this one's a little special. We're talking the mid-year naughties, the best of the first 6 months of the year 2023. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Hey, hey.
And we've got 3 more with us. You might remember him from episodes, I don't know. I don't know what episodes they were on, but Tomas, he hasn't been here in a while.
Hey, I've been busy, but I'm back. Try to get better at that.
And better than ever.
Yes, I am Eric Bischoff. So.
You got his hair.
Fish. I can see it.
He's got the Eric Bischoff hair going on. All our Bischoff fans out there.
Like DDP. Kind of looks like him too.
You might also remember Ryan. Ryan's on the pod today.
Yeah, I've been in the rafters like Sting, so that's where I've been.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Walk down.
Ryan with that makeup. Hell yeah.
Looking from above. How's it going, guys?
Kayla, you really missed out on any sort of wrestling reference, so I'm gonna...
Wondering if that's what was happening. I wasn't quite sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely is.
Wasn't positive.
Right. So, Ryan came down with a Sting mask on, took it off to reveal a Sting mask.
I know another Sting, but once the makeup got brought up, I was like, oh, okay, this is not a musical act.
And you might remember Mike from about 130 of these. Mike's with us.
Yeah, it's
Bang.
the most consistent player in the game.
Yes, he is. So the 5 of us are going to talk about the mid-year naughties. If you're just joining the pod like recently and you haven't heard one of our naughties discussion, it's the Nonsense of the Year Awards. It's our end of year, best of year shows that we do usually like early January. But we're midway through the year at this point. We're into July, and 2023 has been 2023 has been kind of a jam-packed first half. There's a lot of stuff, and we're going to make some recommendations on what you guys should check out, what we should check out, what will probably be talked about at the end of the year. The mid-year naughties, 6 months into the year. We're going to stay more or less spoiler-free. The naughties discussion at the end of the year are super spoiler-filled, but you're going to have the next 6 months to brush up on all this stuff that we're going to talk about. But it's the best stuff so far in the first 6 months of the year. Before we get into the actual, talk about the individual items, what do you guys think we should start with? Like, has this been a video game year, a movie year, or a show year? And should we start with the worst category? Should we start with the best category? What? How should we go about that? Mike's got a little smirk. I think Mike wants to start.
Yeah, he's loaded.
I think this is like 3 in a row for TV. So
okay, interesting.
Mike likes his shows,
but games is nipping at its heels.
Yeah, it is.
I was on the games train a little bit. I feel like it has been a TV. The last 2 naughties have been TV years for us, I think. But I was a little bit on games. It's been a games year for me. What about you guys? What say you?
Well, mostly okay. So precursor before this, consulting my partner Jackie, and I'm like, it's like, what have we? Is it the games part? It's no problem. I can always recall what I've played and just kind of go through my game log, no problem. But I always have trouble remembering what I've seen, especially movies. It's I don't get out a lot. But shows, we were able to put together a relatively more substantial. When you said 3, I was like, I don't know if I've watched 3 shows. I don't know. I don't know if I've done all that. But yeah, been a lot of shows. There's a lot of shows that I'm looking forward to. New seasons coming out. I got a 3-banger, coming out. This month alone. I've already gotten pretty deep into one that's gonna be on my list. And TV's been really good to me. So, looking back, even some rando shows that Jackie and I just kind of picked out because we're I'm like, well, let's check out something new. Let's see what Hulu recommends, or X, Y, or Z. And we've been pleasantly surprised by a lot of what we've seen. And it's a tragedy that there's a writer's strike going on right now.
It really is.
It may not be too good a year next year.
That's the stuff I want. Figure it out.
Kayla and I were just talking about the writer strike this morning and how like next year could be real rough for like everything.
It's gonna be a video game year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we gotta hope for a good video game year.
We pivot to anime, baby.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Let's go.
Oh,
I mean, in terms of who's had the best year, I think games. This is probably the best year in games I've had for the past 20 years. Like, there's just so many bangers that still coming out. I mean, you got the long-awaited Baldur's Gate, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Wonder. You got Starfield. You got so much coming out in the second half. You just barely 6 months in. I think movies, if anything, was maybe the loser this year.
We got Barbie Oppenheimer coming.
I love it.
There you go. That might be the saving grace, but shows still have a lot of good shit too coming out the second half too. So man, I'm gonna say games.
Okay, Kayla, you get to be the tiebreaker because I think Tomas and Mike are both TV above games. Me and Ryan have both been games above TV. Don't say movies because
it's a very close margin, I will say.
I got quite a few on my movie list.
I got 3 that I'm bringing to town that are all 5 stars in my review journal here. So.
Oh, nice. Hey, I used mine too.
Hell yeah.
I didn't use it in the proper way, but I use it as paper.
I think I haven't seen 5 movies.
5-star films out of 5?
4.5 or 5. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
Remember.
I don't use 5-star though either. I use.
You need to recalibrate, Jack. I don't know if
that. Seen a lot of movies, and several of them were very good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, as far as if I'm answering like the best quality of stuff that we have had, it is probably games.
Okay.
Just by like if the most like I just said, I use 10s. I can't use that 5-star. I am a 10-star. I need 10.
Wiggle room.
Yeah, man. I got 5 stars on this book.
I use a 13-point scale, so it's okay.
There we go.
I love it. That's in line with the Machine of Nonsense. I think a 13-point scale.
Mine's more of a Richter scale.
I've been really impressed with a lot of games.
Okay, so we'll save games for last. We'll go movies first because I think we all agree movies has kind of been the weakest, at least so far. And then we can move into TV, and then we can move into games finally. I'll nominate right away for movies. I'll just start us off here, and you know what? I will do. Demetrius has supplied us with his picks in all 3 categories. Yeah. So I'll do D's movie first. He said the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves, just a solid adventure romp that has some nods to lore and items, and I couldn't agree more. It is a solid adventure romp, and quite charming and funny. Chris Pine, best Chris. And
best Chris.
That's it. It's a fun ass movie.
100% agreed. It's on Paramount. Check it out. It's definitely like a good family movie night or date night movie, whatever. I
got that on my list. I just forgot that it was on Paramount Plus. I forgot what streaming service to go back to watch it.
Yeah, it's surprisingly really good. I like a D&D movie.
I knew it would.
Who would have thought? It would have been so entertaining.
They could have did literally anything with it.
Right, literally.
I think there was a big chance that movie would have been just awful, could have been just a really bad, experience, and it was
the Jeremy Irons one.
Yeah, just like a lot of bad, like the Warcraft movie or something, it could just be
Isn't that the
another one of those
animated film?
Yeah, it is.
Not anymore.
Who cares?
It was.
Yeah.
Mario whipped that ass.
Hell yeah.
But
it's called back to 60 episodes ago. Something like that.
I'll throw one out from my list after D. And for me, it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The wrap up of the Guardians saga. This was a 5-star movie in my review journal for me. The Guardians, for me, all of those movies have been the best Marvel stuff. That non like I love Avengers Infinity War quite a bit. Endgame is great as well, but as far as the standalones or whatever you want to say, the Guardian stuff is just so consistently good. The music's great. You get that James Gunn weirdness with also just like the insane sentimentality. I think I've cried at all 3 of the Guardians movies at points, and I'm not afraid to say it because those movies are just great. And the third one's a real solid like wrap up to those characters and everything else. And hopefully they're allowed to just ride off into the sunset. We'll see. But
we are talking about the same Marvel, right?
Right off into the sunset. I don't know that I don't know what Marvel is anymore, but Guardians is still very special in my heart. So Guardians 3, 5 stars for me.
Man, I've missed that one in theaters. I'm still. It seems like August, September is when it's coming to the Mouse Gang Disney Plus. So all the kids have seen it. They really loved it too. I'm excited to.
There's some very intense stuff. I would say, like, I was gonna ask about the kids and stuff. If they were able to make it through the like intense parts.
We watched some pretty gnarly stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff. So like they're good.
They're good. Yeah.
All right.
It's so good. I think it's really wonderful. But there's some gnarly stuff as well.
The cool dad. I got it. I gotcha.
Hell yeah.
My dad took me to go see Leprechaun 2 in theaters. And I thought he was the coolest guy.
We've seen Leprechaun. They were into that.
Oh boy. Who wants to take next on movies?
I'll take it. Guardians 3. Guardians 3. That's my choice too. Is everything you said and more. I was expecting to be. I mean, they are the best Marvel films. I think some of the best Marvel films on my list. I think what kind of blew me away is, unfortunately for trilogies, the third one really never satisfies you, right? For a lot of movies, at least for me.
Sure.
Ant-Man Quantumania?
I'm sorry, that's right. I thought Guardians 3 ended so well, so perfectly in my mind. And it was such a good send-off for, God, I forget the director's name, James Gunn, to leave the MCU.
The badass.
Tore on the heartstrings. Definitely not a kid's film. There's some really traumatic stuff in there I wasn't expecting. Kind of very graphic stuff I wasn't expecting from. But it's James Gunn, so I loved every second of it.
Yeah,
great villain too, I should say.
Yeah, really good. Finally.
Linda Cardellini's voice behind those grotesque animals, and you're like, oh my god, it's just adorable.
I know.
Gotta have it.
Good stuff. Guardians 3 getting lots of love. Go check it out, guys, whenever it gets to Disney Plus. I think it's still actually in some theaters. Every time I look up like showtimes, it's still a couple screens. So you can go see it in theaters as well, I suppose.
It was either that or Cocaine Bear. It was a real close one.
Hey.
Still got that on my list too.
No hate on Cocaine Bear. I like
Leota's in both of those, right?
Ray Liotta's in both.
Probably. Yeah.
Ray Liotta is the bear.
Who's next?
I want to go last.
No.
Oh, well.
All right. I'll go next, I guess, because I don't got much of a list because I don't see many movies.
Mr. Malcolm's list. I already wrote it down.
Hell yeah. Call back. Run it back. Mr. Malcolm. All day.
If you people weren't aware of Mr. Malcolm, please go Google that. You'll know what we're talking about.
I assure you, it is a movie.
Came up on like an IMDb search I was doing the other day.
It
was good. It was real good. I felt real good about it.
For the listeners, I don't remember what episode it was, so that just means you got to go back and listen to all of them again until you find that episode. So, and
I believe it was the movie Naughty episode. You could just
shut up.
Let's help him out a little bit. It's a good episode. You'll love it. Check it out.
It's really good.
So just that 15-minute laugh break. All right. Moving on. So I got two movies because I've only seen two movies.
Hey,
And one of them has got a fun little story, but saw Super Mario. You know, great movie. Enjoyed it. Fun. I'm sure it's not going to get anywhere near greatest movie of the year, but I saw it and it's probably the favorite movie I've seen all year.
Sure.
And then yesterday, was going to the movies to go watch Trolls with the Jackie's sister. They wanted to take their daughter to go see her first movie in theaters.
Nice.
And they were doing like a screening of like the original Trolls movie. And you know, we're there, we're just kind of sitting, and the screen keeps cutting to black. Like it does it like 3 times, and then they come out and they're like, yes, we can either refund your money or we can send you to another movie because the film's just not working. We're like, okay. And they're like, well, what other movies are out? And then, so we went to go see Elemental.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and surprisingly enjoyed my experience watching Elemental. It was emotional. It was cute. It was fun. I did cry at times too. Jackie cried as well. And I know people were like, kind of like, I know it was a little bit critically panned. I don't know why. I think people are just heartless and they expect way too much out of movies
I
nowadays.
think it's like critically mid more than
yeah,
panned,
but
you know?
like
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's a few like weird things where like, you know, it's a movie called Elementals. Certain elements don't get along, so there's like maybe like 2 or 3 like okay, you know, you guys are touching on the, you know, the racism things here and there, but like it was very mild. It wasn't like the crux of the movie.
Sure.
You know, but or they didn't harp on it too much, but it was fun, and I enjoyed it, and wasn't expecting to see it. So, but yeah, for me, Super
Selena
Mario's
loved
still
it. The
better.
kids loved it too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot, though.
I'm excited when it comes to Disney Plus. I wanted to see it, but then just there was too many movies all in the theaters at the same time, and that one just kind of like kept going down on the list, kind of.
Yeah, it kept getting knock.
Yeah, but it doesn't, you know, mean I'm still not excited. I want to see that one. I thought it looked really cute from the trailers.
Yeah, it
and
was
stuff.
super cute. Loved it. Super emotional. But,
I've never really seen a bad Pixar movie, honestly.
Well, that
I've
was
seen
the other
like
thing.
mid Pixar movies or like some that are just not as good as the high highs, but like I've never seen a bad one. I don't think they exist.
Was it DreamWorks? Was it Pixar?
That was Pixar. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a Pixar. Yeah,
I've seen bad DreamWorks movies. So
yeah, I've
I
seen
can
plenty
say
of those
that.
too. Nah, but good movie. But yeah, I'm probably gonna if I got to choose one, Super Mario, mainly just because it fulfilled so many things in my childhood in one rip. So
Hell yeah, good pick, Mike.
I got to go with my boy M Night. Knock at the Cabin.
Ooh,
Shamanama-nama-lan.
forgot about that one.
Really, really enjoyed it. Batista's performance in it was just really, really good.
Like love on this list
when he's in stuff.
Yeah, there is.
Just like one of those M Night kind of plot things, you know, that just work. Like, okay, like the 4 horsemen kind of are coming and gonna like need to like fucking sacrifice these people or else the end of the world's gonna happen. And
now, is it the 4 horsemen from wrestling? Because
yeah, Arn Anderson is Batista's Arn.
Dave Batista, yeah.
Yep.
And
Got it that time.
man, it's I think it's like 90 minutes. It's on Peacock.
Speedy.
And I just really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, such a vibes movie. I think it just like this impending sense of like dread and it does like what some of the best M. Night Shyamalan movies does.
It really makes you wonder. Like it's one of those like you don't know. You don't know what's real and what's not. It's crazy.
Shyamalan movie.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he's still making movies. You know, at this point, he's had a lot of flops in his heyday. But I've heard good things about Knock on the Cabin. I have not yet seen it. I heard Batista's actually really amazing.
He swings hard, bro. So like whenever he
Yeah.
makes contact, it goes.
And I think
Like,
even the ones that are critically panned still did really well, like The Happening or whatever.
Really?
Like no
Yeah.
one likes that movie. I
that
kinda
movie's awful.
dig it a little bit. I don't know. I kind of dig it a little bit, but I think
Solid.
it did really well regardless. Like I think that was when bad movies could still do really well in theaters.
But like,
Yeah,
let's name
Wahlberg.
the good M Night stuff, like
Sixth
Sixth
Sense.
Sense,
That's it?
Unbreakable, Knock at the
Unbreakable.
Cabin.
Yeah.
I would say
It's
The
Split,
Visit is
right?
good. Old is
Village, yeah.
fantastic.
Oh,
I think I like The Village too.
I gotta
bad.
watch it again. Yeah.
First watch, good.
I think he hits way more than he misses. He has a couple
Yeah.
phenomenal stinkers, like all timers, like in a row. And
Yeah.
I don't know, even something like Devil, which I think he just has like producer on or something like that. I enjoy.
Good casting too. Like when you mentioned like The Village or whatever else, that's a stacked cast. Like,
Yeah.
Well, everyone wanted to work with him. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's the thing. It's like Bruce Willis's career. Like,
Oh,
fucking, he'd hit a banger after banger, and then he'd do like a few weird ones. And, like,
if actors and stuff were graded on a curve like that, Bruce Willis would be like an F right now.
Yes.
Like with all of the fucking straight to fucking Redbox shit that he's
Yep.
done in like the last 5 years. I
he
know
didn't
it's
have
very
much choice over those.
sad tale with him, and he's
Yes.
been kind of manipulated and stuff like that. But yeah, when you
Even
think,
before that,
when you think of Bruce Willis, though, you don't think of those things. You think of John McClane. You think of his
Yep.
highs, and I wish M. Night could be just thought of that way instead of the
Yeah.
guy who made The Happening.
I can respect
Or-
somebody who like has a little bit of both. Like you want somebody to try things and maybe it doesn't come together, so they learn from it and come out better on the other side.
I want something like old over any of like The Purge 5 or Insidious 17.
Yeah,
and all this
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I would rather have that.
I heard
No, I get that.
Insidious like 14's really good though. So
Right? Yeah, it comes around.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
it's turned into the Shyamalan cast.
I will go next. I wanted to go last because I did want to make sure that Knock at the Cabin got on there. There's a couple of them.
Hell
It's
yeah.
hard. It's hard to pick now. I want to make sure all these things get on the list.
I'm sorry, Kayla. My bad.
No. I'm glad you did because now
There's
I
no
can,
limit.
I can-
Also, I mean, we could.
No
We
limit,
don't have to
Solo.
stop at a
I'm
limit. or
Silky
something.
Shaka then, and I'm gonna.
That's all right. I was just trying to get a nice, variety going.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say John Wick 4. So
Oh yeah. I'm surprised
That's-
Eric didn't say that.
Oh, it's my number one movie this year. It's my number one
Huh?
movie this decade, I think. But go on,
Isn't that,
Kayla, please.
isn't that movie like 4 hours long?
It's very
It's
long.
3 hours long.
it's a
forgot
long
it was
one.
out.
Yep. Yeah, it's just even though it's that long, you are just buckled in the whole time. You
Okay.
are totally intrigued. They do a lot of really fun camera work, a lot of really fun stunts, and like full body scenes and not skits. What's the word I'm looking for? Stunts.
Ooh.
The choreography
So,
is insane. I mean,
Yeah.
The visual, the it's all great. They do
yeah,
some fun
just
stuff.
it brings me back to like Fury Road. Like Fury Road to me is like because
Oh, yeah.
so much
That's-
practical stuff, so much insane cinematography, camera work, like the choreography of it all. Like John Wick 4 is just right up there with me. It's just like the most movie you can like have, like the most action movie that ever action movied. And
It's like-
there's yeah.
So broody and moody, and it's just a vibe, and it's just intense.
Yeah, I think Eric hit it. Like what both of those films accomplish is like equally impressive. I
yeah.
And they're both like batshit insane, they're both like sci-fi, and like you wouldn't think of John Wick. It's fully a sci-fi movie now, really. Like they got suits that protect them from bullets, and John Wick can fall from any height and get up, and it's a fully fantasy like thing now, but it's just good. It's just so fun. I left that movie so fucking pumped. I don't know. I'm still pumped thinking about
It's
John Wick.
certified
Right.
classic of our time right now, man. This is our
Yeah.
classic for sure. It's a great
Shout out
action
to
film.
It's like
my
the
boy
evolution.
Lance Reddick.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of his
Evolution
final
of the
roles.
action film.
Yeah.
Love him.
I know Eric felt electric after it. I felt like, whew, man, that was
Sweating buckets.
no, just like, man, that was it's a lot. It is. It is. It only lets up in a couple spots, and that's where where I kind of felt like, oh man, all right. But then it
just
quickly
kicks the
just
door
fucking,
in.
oh, this is a huge another set piece here. And by the end of it, I don't know. I was feeling like I got my ass whooped. Like, I did. Like,
There wasn't much to say.
Like
Just straight action.
Donnie Yen just fucking took my ass to the yard, man. And shout out to him. He was the highlight of the film for me. His scenes
wow.
as Kane
Absolutely.
were fantastic. Him and Keanu together, like, man, peanut butter jelly. Shit, it was really good.
I definitely have one last on my list. If anyone else has anything.
I have a few.
We'll go around again.
Okay.
Just,
Fight me. Nah, I'm good.
A few mentions here.
Go to town.
Beau is Afraid is one. I really enjoyed that.
Okay.
Bullshit, as Selena would say.
No, Selena did not like Beau is Afraid, huh?
Oh no.
Oh, it was not. She did not. She made it like 20 minutes. And it's,
Okay. All right.
Bullshit.
Cocaine Bear, Renfield. If you haven't
Renfield's
seen
fun.
it,
Oh,
it's
wow,
fun.
yeah.
It's a fun Nicolas Cage film. What can else I say about it? Of course,
Shout out to
John Wick
Aquafina.
4. And that's all I got.
Okay.
Two shout outs.
Hell yeah.
Dig it.
I couldn't hang with Beau, man. I finished it yesterday. I had to watch it in like 3 different chunks
Ooh, that's
because
rough.
it is a legit 3 hour. I think John Wick's is a little under. Beau
Okay.
is a little over.
It's a long sit.
And-
It's a long sit.
And my boy Ari Aster, man, I don't know. I see what he's doing with it. I get it, you know, the anxiety thing, but it just didn't all wrap up for me too well.
Dig it. I dig it. You had something else, Kayla? It looked like maybe.
Yeah, sure. You want me to just rapid fire?
Yeah, sure. That's fine. I got a big one,
yeah.
but maybe you'll say it.
Oh yeah, Spiderverse.
Yeah, Across the Spiderverse. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Across-
Movie of the year.
Like, oh, it's
Dang.
great. It's a long sit as well, and leaves you wanting more, which
Yeah.
I think is a beautiful thing to do at the end of a film. That's a part one. You know, you want to come more. You want to have like a backstory and more to look forward to, and maybe not see it in the trailers completely unfold. But we'll see what happens.
Did
I got
that movie have bad trailers? Was it?
no, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
But just trailers in general for me are the whole fucking movie.
Gotcha.
So
I thought the Spider-Verse one was good. Of like, I have no idea what this movie is going to be about. I get a sense of how cool it's going to be, and that's
it
what
is a good trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say it is a good trailer.
Yeah, because it focuses on Miles in the trailers, but the movie doesn't as much, you know, like as much as the first one did or anything.
I mean, there's as much of a normal full-length film in there for Miles, but
yeah.
overall, yeah, it's
It's good. I like it. I got The Flash on my list as well.
Okay.
okay.
I really like some parts of that movie. Really
parts?
solid. Yeah, they're like the main story I really like. There's, you know,
So-
fluff that I could cut out.
I agree.
So this could be like up for maybe not your top 5 movies, but moments or characters or,
Oh,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Maybe
Yeah.
clarify
Yeah.
some of that stuff a little bit. I don't know.
I did pick like some of my things are like, okay, there's a character in this that will be talking about. Not necessarily this one specifically, but I like this movie. This is a good movie.
Oh, good. Okay.
And maybe to what we were saying, Asteroid City fits better where there's again, I like a part of it and there's some fluff that I could do without, but there's some really good like characters and moments in Asteroid City.
Ooh.
Okay.
Man,
Man, I can't wait to see that one.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Like it.
Beautiful movie. Beautiful. Like
Very
visually.
very much. Can I put that? Can I just say like my favorite character was the color palette.
There you go.
New category. It's the naughties this year. We'll add an 8th category: best color
Vibe.
palette.
I want vibe. Best vibe.
All right. Hey,
Should be vibing.
we'll have that
Best
conversation.
aesthetic.
Vibing.
We'll have that conversation. I like that for the future.
I only have one more, and it's how to blow up a pipeline. Really still stuck with me. I think it really is going to be in my top 5 at the end of the year. It reminds me a lot of the filmmaking of it, of one, On the Count of Three, just kind of this guerrilla kind of indie style to it. And just the script overall is tight and really good. And it's I think it's under 90 minutes, this one. And not a lot of familiar faces, but I think that helps it. I think it feels like a documentary. I kind of at time, like these are the real people that did this shit kind of thing. And highly recommend it. I think I had to rent that one on Amazon. I don't think it's on any other like streamers or anything.
I think we should watch that one tonight, Kayla.
What's it called?
Okay.
How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
Oh man.
Right.
I think you can guess what the movie is.
They're tracked.
The title. It is a group of like 7 or 8 people that have kind of met through, the dark corners of the web, and they are finally they have organized this plan to blow up a pipeline that is all affecting them in different ways in their life. And the way that story is told is really good.
Nice. So, is the mid-year naughty list for best movie Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Elemental, Knock at the Cabin, John Wick Chapter 4, Beau is Afraid, Cocaine Bear, Renfield, Across the Spiderverse, The Flash, Asteroid City, and How to Blow Up a Pipeline?
And that's a lot. How many is that?
That's
Good amount.
I don't know. Several. Let's see what Word tells me. Word says that it's 40 words. That didn't do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I didn't miss anything here.
13 films that we're gonna that we still have another half of the year to go, and we'll have to whittle it down to 5 at the end of the year. So
Do we want to cut it to like a 10 right now?
no, this is just
No,
mid-year
this
naughties.
Yeah, let's not get too refined here.
Yeah, these are just recommendations. Go out and check these movies out. They're all I've seen most of these movies, and the ones I've seen are all really good. So on to best shows.
Yes.
How about it? Let's do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'll start with D. He said Trigun Stampede, which is a remake and reimagining that uses cutting-edge CGI, wonderful voice cast that just hit him square in the nostalgia. I know very little about Trigun. It's always looked like a pretty cool anime, but I didn't realize they came out with, and it's available on Hulu, this like remaster or remake of Trigun called Trigun Stampede. Did you check this one out at all, Ryan? I know this is your corner.
No, it was really good. I mean, it is pretty much. I mean, if you've seen the first Trigun, I mean, it's the same exact thing.
Okay.
Essentially, same exact story. It's just told more in a condensed way. I think it's very flashy. Uses CG very well. I personally thought it was lacking a little bit, like from like the original, because they're more let's say manga accurate in this one.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. But it's very, very, very similar. It's very, very modern, because that was very 90s, very now, and you can see it in just the way Vash looks generally. But yeah, it was very good. I enjoyed it. It's very up there on the anime stuff this year for sure. Nice.
Yeah. It's like 12 episodes. It looks like they're like 20 minutes a piece or 25 minutes a piece, something like that. And it's on
short.
Hulu. So
very digestible. I like that. The original was it's up there on my like old school anime list because it ends
Nice.
That's why Bebop is up there for me too. It's like
Sure.
concise storytelling that doesn't go on.
Mhm.
No offense to all the One Piece people and
No, all
your
the offense.
Narutos
Yeah.
No,
and your Bleaches and
It's hard to jump into that.
Inuyasha.
Guys,
finally.
it's really good right now.
It's really good right now.
Just get through the first 600 and it really picks up.
Inuyasha.
Oh, good. This has been your anime corner, everyone.
Yep, there we go.
Trigun Stampede.
I've dumped all of my anime knowledge in one shot.
I will. I'll start off from the assembled cast here. The Last of Us on HBO was, there were some uneven elements of it. We talked quite a bit on the podcast about the show, but I think it captured it. It brought me back into it's my favorite game of all time, The Last of Us, and it got me wanting to live in that universe again, or replay that game, and everything. And I think there were some great performances. Pedro Pascal is daddy, as the internet says. Yeah, no, just really, really good adaptation, and I'm excited to see where they go from there.
In terms of adaptations, what would you like? Since I know you're a huge fan of the game, like, do you think you prefer the game over the series?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Okay.
But I mean, there's so much. They've done some really good additions and some really good padding out of some characters that didn't really get much screen time at all in the game. Were really focused on really well. They that episode 3 is really good,
Right.
And they played around with the story. David, in the one of the last episodes, they expanded his character and made him that much more evil and everything. So they've done some really good additions that I wish when they redid the remake or whatever of the Last of Us game, if they could somehow have put those additional scenes or whatever in there, it would have been welcome addition. But yeah, the game's an all-timer for me, and the show is just good. I enjoyed the show. But yeah, the game still stands on its own, I think, in my and I'm a tough critic when it comes to that. So
Yeah.
it's good. I recommend it though. Last of Us on HBO.
Give me some moments coming out of that show.
I think so.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Whoever wants to go next, feel free.
I would like to go last for this one.
Ooh.
I'll take a quick, easy shot that I know nobody will have, and I'm
Shoot.
doing this for some representation here.
Hey.
Queen Charlotte.
Hell yeah, that's on my
Pilot.
list. What up?
Bridgerton is also good, but man, Queen Charlotte was so much better. I was in it. They do that thing where you see the story from one view, and you see not the whole story, but you get a big chunk of the story, and then all of a sudden you're seeing it from other people's view.
Yep.
And it just it's Witcher is doing that right now too, where you're just watching the same scene happen from different views, and
I love that.
It just really, really breaks your heart. It's
Oh,
really
God.
good. There's some really good moments in it.
They took a character I didn't like in that show, and she went pretty high up the list after watching that. Not what I was expecting from
Right.
but what I felt like was just a stopgap measure between seasons, because
Right.
they're taking a while to get the next season out. But I was like, holy shit! I was like, I ate it up with the spoon.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
shit.
I had no idea. I haven't really watched much of Bridgerton or Queen Charlotte, as Kayla's been really getting into those. But I didn't realize the historical significance of especially the Queen Charlotte character. But then when we went to England, we saw all kinds of she was all over the place.
It's like a legit thing.
it was
Tons of
interesting.
pubs. Tons of
Yeah.
pubs named after her.
Yeah, so that was cool. Just like Kayla, because Kayla would tell me a little, this happened on Queen Charlotte, and I really dug this scene or whatever else. And then we went to London. It's like, this is the chick you've been talking about. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
There's
Charlotte.
even
Queen
so
Charlotte.
much I read other books that take place in London, and they'll make like a weird Farmer George reference, and I'm like, oh,
Yep.
I
There
get
it
that
is.
now.
There it is.
Like this is a London dirt we're getting to know.
Oh my god, there's one scene like right at the ass end of that show where like it just ties a bow on it so well, and my heart shatters, but like it's there. Like I turned and looked at Jackie, and like I was like literally had like tears like running down my eyes. I was like,
Man.
it's
Damn,
like
it's good.
it was fucking beautiful. Like,
Love, man.
yeah, fuck. I think that's what I got out of Elemental. Also, it's like I mean it's a more kiddie version of it, but like you just,
Simple. It can be simple.
yeah, simple. Well, like you feel it, man.
Good stuff. Yeah, some of
Good
us
shit.
cry at Guardians 3. Some of us cry at Queen Charlotte.
I
Yeah.
probably would have cried at Guardians 3 too, to
It's
be
the
honest.
You
duality
will,
of man.
Tomas. You most certainly
cried.
will.
The older I get, the more I just cry, man, because like I just don't give a fuck anymore, man. Like feeling stuff's cool.
Feeling stuff's cool. The motto of the Machine of Nonsense, I think. So was Queen Charlotte your like one pick for TV, Tomas, or did you have more?
No, I got like a little grocery list because I got a few like weird ones on here that like I said, I picked out a few rando shows.
Yeah, throw one out there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go for what's currently at the top of my list. I'll start with that, which is The Bear.
Yes,
I've
chef.
been really enjoying season 2 a lot. I'm not all the way through it, but like,
Me either.
my God, they found a different way to like bring on that anxiety and nervous tension that like the first season had. The first season's like super chaotic and all fucking like completely off the rails, and this one's like there's just the slightest hint of like there's a plan, but like it's so barely on the rails, like it's ricking and
life.
rocking the whole entire time. It's do such a good job at developing those characters too. But other than the bear, yeah, I had Queen Charlotte, and The Last of Us, blah blah blah. We checked out this one show called Not Dead Yet on Hulu. It's about like a girl who ends up she develops a power to coincidentally she works for like a newspaper, and she gets stuck having to write like the obituaries that come in for it, and like she's having life issues and stuff. She just got out of an engagement, yada yada, and and they don't quite touch on whether or not she's having like some kind of like stress like induced thing based off of it, but so she ends up being able to see like the dead people, like their ghosts that she's writing the obituaries with. And yeah, it's just a quirky little spin on like a sitcom, and I'm not gonna say it's top of the year material, but it was an interesting watch. I enjoyed it. A little turn and burn kind of thing, and I'm interested enough to watch a second season. So
Nice.
and then we watched another show called Somebody Somewhere. I think that one was on HBO. I don't know why. I think it just popped up in our recommended. There's 2 seasons. Season 2 came out this year. And it's just kind of like about like a family, like they lose like a sibling. So like the sibling, I mean, and they only like allude to it, like she was gay, and they grew up like in a farm town, were not so accepting about stuff, and the sibling who passed away was really close to another one who's the main character of the show, and she has to move back to her hometown to like help wrap up like all the stuff, and she kind of gets just stuck in a rut there, and but then she starts developing friendships and building her life, and people deal with their emotional issues and the back and forth, and it's just a life show. It's like how people deal with grief, how people move forward, and yeah, it's a good like just kind of a slice of life, like dealing with some real shit kind of show. And yeah, and we watched the 2 seasons, and yeah, we enjoyed it. Jackie's like all board on it. I don't know if it's her top show of the year, but she's
No, Queen Charlotte, but
yeah. Oh no. Queen Charlotte, got it. Just talking about that show makes me like it's that and The Bear right now for me.
Wow.
But Bridgerton season 3 is supposed to come out in December, so we'll see.
we'll see. We'll see.
After
We'll
Queen
see.
Charlotte, I have like zero interest in Bridgerton. Like,
Oh, man.
need to
Well,
just
I don't know
ignore
how-
that.
I don't know how they're gonna top it, so but we'll see. And who knows? Mr. Malcolm's List may be developed into like a series, and
I love it. Oh,
yeah, that's everything I had on my list.
Mike, what do you got?
I also have Last of Us and The Bear. This season of The Bear is so fucking good.
Yeah, you
Episode 6 is just perfect.
Dominic the
great.
Donkey.
Like Tomas said, just having that less of a chaos with this season, and it's more cerebral. It's more just they breathe more in this season, and I loved every second of it.
You're still so nervous for them though. It's like that Marcus episode, like I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop that whole entire episode, like something to go bad, and it doesn't. Like it's like
right.
So
yeah, that cast, it's up there with like Parks and Rec and One Piece for just like a big great group of characters that I care about and love.
Ensemble.
Like a best ensemble, potentially. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes, yeah. And man, but I'm gonna do my double shotgun barrel blast of HBO here with Succession and Barry. Both of these shows ended so well this year. Both very different in what they're trying to do and how they do it. Bill Hader on Barry is kind of like, I can't wait to see what he does next. I think it sounds like he wants to do movies next. And what he did with this show, I don't know. Barry's not like any other. It is so unique, and the way that it has evolved from seasons 1, 2, and 3, and 4. This was 4, right? Yes, the last season was 4, and I loved it. People kind of criticize it that it's not as much of a comedy as it was. I push against that. I think it still has that really biting dark sense of humor in it, but it's just the story evolved. It's a grown up thing that's going on, and I loved it. Succession, it's my number 1 of the year. I don't think anything could beat it. Episode 3 specifically is just the best thing I've ever seen. I don't know, like just the way that whole thing shook out, it just left me like in awe. I loved the season, loved how it wrapped up all of those great characters. A great ensemble in there, but I don't feel the way I feel about those characters like the Bear. I despise all of them, but they bring me joy and entertainment too. It's like, I don't know if you guys have ever had relationships like that where you just kind of like, that guy, he sucks, but he's got good stories, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
there's a few high school people I could probably name.
Yeah, right. And
feel really uncomfortable around them, but they're always there.
Matthew McFadden on this season was just the best. As Tom Wamsgams, Brian Cox, everybody, Sarah Snook, Karen Culkin, fantastic on Succession. Watch it. You won't be disappointed. It's like the best show that I've ever seen, I think.
Midway through a movie with Sarah Snook, Run Rabbit Run. On
Netflix. We
Netflix.
started that. We didn't really make it.
No, maybe I won't finish it either. We'll see. Ryan, you wanted to go last.
I mean, I think Mike kind of hit a lot of things I enjoy. So just a quick rapid fire stuff, and I'll tell you my best. A limited series on Netflix, Arnold. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. It's a little kind of documentary about his life.
Oh,
really
nice.
fucking good. Really good.
Governator?
Yeah, put me in a whole different
Oh.
light on Arnold. Like it just kind of blew me away. It's very entertaining. Just him talking about his life and how he got started to now, and kind of a precursor to the Fuba. But the bear, Barry, fucking amazing build. I can't wait. Like you said, I can't wait to see what he does next because he's a very good. He's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
The Last of Us, Succession, Poker Face. A lot of good shows this year,
Poker
but
Face
the
very
number
good.
one that stands out for me is, of course, you guys could probably figure out anime
One
called
Piece.
Vinland Saga Season 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot that dropped
It's very likely, talk about adaptations, very likely the best thing I've ever seen adapted for me personally. It might be even like my favorite anime of all time at this point. If you guys don't know, it's a historical setting, historical fiction based on Vikings in a very real time with really real actors, well, people that portrayed their history, and different, like just a little fictionalized the in between. You take this character Thorfinn. He's such a one-dimensional character in season 1 for good reason, intentionally, right? He's kind of like a side character, but then you take him to season 2. Spoilers. He's a slave, and he's working on this farm, and the owner says him and this new person that shows up, hey, if you guys cut down this, just a giant amount of forest, and you make a farm, you do all this stuff, I'll give you your freedom, whatever, right? But the juxtaposition between people's lives, it's very much a very real story about implications of war, Often anime, at least the mainstream anime, is very shallow in thought. This is deep as you want it to go. Talks about grief, talks about who he wants to be, because he doesn't know. He's a Viking killer that's very one-dimensional in season 1, has one centered goal. And this one, he's trying to find who he is. And through all these different people and relationships, he kind of goes through it because he doesn't want to kill anymore. And you have all these people that want to kill and are affected by war in different ways. And God, it's so good. It's so fucking good. I think it's probably the best thing I've maybe almost ever seen in a show.
Nice.
It's better than anything I've seen this year, like by far. The artistry, the animation, the music, the tugging on the heartstrings. There's storylines in there that just completely see coming. And I think the most important thing for like this, it's a seinen anime, right? So people don't know what that means. It's for adults, right? So what the author does in this type of setting, be unexpected, it's just so ballsy, and just it's a truly a story on how war shapes you, changes you in reality of war in a very human way, unlike anything you really see from anime. So if it's 24 episodes. They're roughly about 24, 25 minutes each. Might be a long sit, might be a sad sit, but I think there's no better show on TV this year.
What's it on?
It's on now. Now it's on everything now. I'd highly recommend getting doing the sub if you can handle it. But it's on Netflix, it's on Prime, it's on Crunchyroll, it's on Thorfinn. It's on Hulu.
Here's the more important question: sub or dub?
I would say sub, because I think the actors just work differently in Japan, and it shows because they're more of like in the room, they're more of a team, they're more of an ensemble, and they play off each other, and you could just feel it. Like they feel like they're in the same room acting off each other. And
the best recommendation you ever given me was watching Gurren Lagann subbed as opposed to dubbed.
That's why One Piece is so good, because those guys have been working together for 20 years, but you could feel it, when they talk to each other.
Emotional conveyance between the languages as well.
Absolutely.
Like
but
some of that.
It is kind of weird because they did something a little different with this series for the dubbed versions, because Netflix did their own dub for it because it's so successful. They want to do their own thing. And then Crunchyroll has another like English dub that's different from that. So it's really take your flavor. It's kind of weird, but I prefer sub because some of the characters' performances, mainly the main character, is so strong that I don't think the others hold a candle to it. But that's my show. Sorry for rambling so long.
No,
So,
that's good.
yeah.
I read a really like glowing review, I think on Kotaku of the
It's been
second season.
popping up a lot.
It's
And,
deep,
uh,
really
yeah.
deep.
You're far from the first person to say that like it's really, really good. So
No,
yeah.
just for a second. Let's just all agree that Yu Yu Hakusho best of.
I will agree without knowing a single thing about that. Yes.
You're a meshy. You're a meshy.
I love Kuwabara. Oh my god.
This is
Cool
the-
Bard's best.
This is the other anime corner. There's going to be 4 of them to make a house, I think.
Is there an anime video game?
Probably. I had one more in best shows, and it's Beef. The show Beef. Really, really enjoyed that. Steven Yeun is continuing his ascent up as just like a really, really good
As
actor.
an actor.
Yeah, and it's just a really good and what's the main
Ali
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong. Yeah, she was really, really good. I've always liked her. Like I've seen some of her stand up and thought she was like really funny and stuff, but like she can act. Like she's really good in Beef, and it's just one of those shows that like has a fairly simple premise and just continues to go just off the rails and build and build and build, and shows like the aftermath of just like simple choices that you can make, and like how like the butterfly effect of those type of things, and just how dumb it is to escalate, I guess, like just like petty just obsess over petty things. Yeah. And just really, really good. Great performances. Cool, like interesting, because most of the characters are like Asian, and they bring like a certain like cultural flair to it, like a very like Southern California Asian flair to it. It kind of gives you a unique look into that experience,
My
I
life.
guess. Yeah. And I just thought it was phenomenal. I think
It's
there's
good. Yeah.
gonna be at very least there's some like scenes and sequences that I'll probably like be talking about at the end of the year.
I think I would have liked that show watching it like weekly instead of all at once. I think a lot of them like they're hour-long episodes.
Roughly, yeah.
And I think like initially watching them sometimes it is just kind of so crazy and quick that the more you think about it afterwards, the better it is.
Mhm.
So watching them all right in a row, I don't think you get that moment to let it sit and let it brew. It's really impressive when we were done and I like maybe wasn't as warm on it as I am now. Just the more and more I think about it, it's getting better and better. And I wish I would have had that time in between each episode.
I think you're right. I think it could have been a good like water cooler kind of show. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Binge is bad.
I agree. Yeah. I really
hard.
believe. Yeah. Got to let it marinate. You know.
Can be.
I don't like years in between. That's the thing. Years is too much.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, I like binging some stuff. I don't mind binging, but I think Beef would have probably benefited from a little like time to sit with it, a little marinating the beef, as you guys mentioned. Yeah,
it's good.
Pretty good.
I got one more.
Okay, hell yeah, do it.
The Idol on HBO. No, I'm not.
I was like, I'll watch The Bear, but
I was gonna say you won't fucking watch Euphoria, but you'll watch the fucking Idol. Right.
No, I'm not going to touch that. No, Cunk on Earth. Little Netflix show that I love. It
You're all
stars
about that.
Diane Morgan as Philomena Cunk, and she is just kind of taking you on a semi-serious history of the world kind of thing. It reminds me a lot of like those Daily Show interviews where the straight man is saying ridiculous things to the expert in their field and trying to, get them to break kind of thing. And she's great at it. And check it out. It's like 5 episodes. It's really breezy. This is one where I think binging it works really well because you just kind of treat it like a comedy movie or something, and just giggle your way through the history of the world.
It's definitely funny and quick to watch. Yeah, I give it that. Absolutely. Checked it out a little bit. It's good.
Yeah, I watched like 2 eps.
All right.
You guys didn't finish?
No, I didn't.
Fuck.
Just got lost in the minutia of life. It's one of
You
those.
said no to Cunk?
I didn't say no
Oh
to
man.
I just
Well, Cunk, you guys, man. I don't know. I don't.
I got
That's
it.
my TV.
Fire.
You got a rapid fire, Kayla. Okay.
let's go.
Gotta come with my Abbott Elementary.
Oh yeah.
Gotta come with my Ted Lasso final season.
Oh yeah.
Some good stuff in that. Black Mirror.
Mm.
Good. Kind of like a M. Night Shyamalan sometimes, there's good, there's bad. And we just started Shrinking, which I think will come up.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
It's a good call. I think we're halfway through. We're 5 out of 10, and as long as it lands the plane, I think you're right, Kayla, on that one.
wow.
Before you guys move on, I know you guys got the Apple service. Did you see the Michael J. Fox documentary at all?
No, I've watched the trailer, and I
Okay.
don't know if it seems too much. It seems
All right,
like
seems too much?
emotional. I like Michael J. Fox a lot. I'm really sad that we didn't get to see what his career could have become.
Could have been,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I was curious.
that might be a tough watch. But it looks phenomenal. But
There's
I
some
got-
weird ties to what you just said. That goes deep.
in Shrinking, yes, yeah,
Yes.
true, definitely.
He has
I-
Parkinson's.
I got one more
Somebody
thing
in the show.
Hell yeah, let's do
that
it.
I haven't personally watched. I was just curious if anybody else has watched yet. Righteous Gemstones.
I haven't started the new one yet.
Neither have I. I was just
definitely want to get
curious
to
if
it. I think that one
Okay.
has a high chance of being on the final 5 as well.
I think Aaron has been digging
Yeah.
this season, but I haven't gotten the full report on it quite yet. So we'll see. We'll see what that goes.
Cool.
So the
There's
best
some-
shows.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Cunk
Yeah.
off. All right.
Kunk off.
I just want to mention some things that I haven't finished either, like Primo, I want to finish. Jury Duty, I want to finish. Very cool show, funny show. And that's it. That's it.
Okay, good.
There it is.
I'm going to add
Whoa.
them to the end of the list. All right. So the best shows of the first 6 months so far, according to us, are Trigun Stampede, The Last of Us, Queen Charlotte, The Bear Season 2, Not Dead Yet, Somebody Somewhere Season 2, Succession, the final season, Barry, the final season, Arnold, the documentary, Poker Face, Vinland Saga Season 2, Beef, Cunk on Earth, Abbott Elementary Season 3?
Mhm.
2?
Oh, you're right. Yes, they do the weird end of year thing.
Ted Lasso, the final season, Black Mirror Season 6, Shrinking, Primo, and Jury Duty. Good show. Good show year. But the best is yet to come because it's the
I
best.
want to have
games
these numbers tallied up at the end, please, and we'll find out. But proceed.
We will. Best games list. We're starting. I'll start with D again, and it's the obvious one. He went with The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and he just wrote, "It did it all for me." That's it. It did it all for me. That's it. And
The tears don't fall; they crash around me.
Great game.
I will say, in the same way that like
Game of the
John Wick 4 is the most movie, Tears of the Kingdom is the most game. It is.
The gamiest game of
Until
all time.
Starfield. But
We'll see. Yeah, maybe until Starfield. But no, Tears was on my list as well. And
The game is good.
I thought Breath of the Wild was fine. I enjoyed it well enough. I really like Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's better in like every way. Like when I compare the two of them, I think Tears of the Kingdom's just better in every way. It has hit me in the ways that like Breath of the Wild didn't hit me. And I just think, yeah, there's some really cool physics stuff that it does. I don't like how the story is told, but I like the story. I like the story elements. I like the characters and stuff. I wish there wasn't so much freedom in how like that story is told. It could kind of like, I feel like I got a really jumbled up version of that story because of the way I just decided to like randomly tackle different objectives and stuff.
Yep.
And that is what it is. You know, I guess if I would have played them in whatever order that was actually correctly right, I would have, it would have made more sense. But no, just a really phenomenal game, and a marvel at that it like runs so well and does so much on so little, like on the Switch,
the little
10-year-old hardware at this point. Like, yeah, it's an impressive game more than anything.
It's running on a phone chip. Yeah.
And my fan wasn't going crazy on my Switch. It's going like, woo.
Yeah.
Was that your pick, Eric? Was it Tears?
Well, it's one of the
Dee's.
3 that I did bring,
Okay.
but that was Dee's
Okay.
pick.
That was Dee's. Gotcha. Yeah.
But it was also on my list as well. It's one of my it's on my top 3 as well.
Number 1 with a bullet for sure.
Oh god, that game is good. Game very
Who's next?
Yeah,
Okay.
what's next?
Okay. So, well, I mean, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom's gonna be my main choice, but there's a couple of other good ones this year.
Sure.
RE4 remake,
Yep.
Also on my list.
had a lot of fun playing that one. Played a little bit of Street Fighter 6.
Did you?
Yeah,
No shit.
the game plays it feels real nice.
Oh, it feels so
Nice.
good. Feels so good, baby.
But then I watched like gameplay footage of like Tekken 8, and I'm like, oh my god, that looks so clean.
Oh yeah.
But for now, Street Fighter 6, that's the fighter.
Oh yeah.
But there's some weird character design in that game, but it's a Street Fighter game, and like it feels real clean though. Like the mechanics, it's fun. Like, yeah, takes me back. And then got shout out. You're the Blue Bomber. Mega Man Battle Network collection.
Yeah.
It's just Mega Man Battle Network. It's fun. They got those cool, quality of life change like options in the menu. Like they got an option that says Max Buster. So like if I just want to like plow through everything, just go blah blah blah. And
That would be my porno name. Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of like just shoot them everything.
The Blue Buster. That's who. Okay,
Yeah.
No, Max Buster. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, blah
Max
blah blah.
blah blah blah. But nah, it's cool. It's like I like that. Like I like playing old games that I enjoyed playing as when I was younger. A little bit more involved back then, but I got a life. I work a full-time job, and it's cool to relive those things without having to dump 40 hours into a game. And I've also been enjoying that with the pixel remasters of Final Fantasy. Now that they're on the Switch, they allow you 4 times gain on everything, and I can fast forward battles, and that is just so nice. So
Yeah. I mean, why actually play the games? Why?
no, I don't know. They got remastered soundtracks, so that's what I'm listening to it for.
I don't think
I'm, as the kids say, vibing. As I play them.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I think every RPG should have those elements, even if it's not a remake. Fresh out the gate, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Give me fucking all those options.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, I have not played 16, and Ryan's kind of making me not want to play it on my PS5 because
You'll probably be fine.
okay.
You'll probably be fine.
Are you sure? I don't know. Man.
I mean, if you want some tips, I'll let you know after the show. But,
yeah, do I need to like point a fan towards my PS5 as I'm like playing? To keep
we'll
You
talk
are
after the
Florida,
show.
it might
I got some opinions.
All right, I'll let you drop those bombs. Let's go. That's me.
Yeah. The Mega Man Battle Network, those are like strategy games, right?
It's like a grid style fighting. They got like chips. You can use your buster, but it's not your main like way of fighting. It's an RPG Mega Man, like
Nice.
kind of like fighter. They're interesting. The first one I got, like I was like, what the hell is this? This ain't Mega Man. And then you play it for a bit, and it sucks you in, like real good.
Nice.
And it's like alternate universe Mega Man. Like instead of going robot technology, they went for network technology. So you don't have robots, you have net navis, and everything is internet centric instead.
Sure.
So
Pretty modern.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And then man, they cranked those games out real fast back in the day. There's like, I think they released 2 of them in a calendar year at one point. So it was like the Pokemon of Mega Man games for a while.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they were doing too. Is they had like the trading and link system like set up for it too. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I got Zelda and Resident Evil 4 on my list, of course.
hell yeah.
RE4, man, they did the thing. They took a Stone Cold classic and reimagined it, and it worked out really well.
So good.
My probably my third favorite game of the year I played so far is probably Tchia. I played that through the PlayStation, the PSN, like
Excellent game.
stuff. That's just cool vibes. The game, if like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom seems like too much for you or something, but you still want like a fun, lighthearted, open world thing, Tchia is the game for you.
Ooh.
It's got a lot more like Wind Waker, cool, just vibes to it.
Good
If
aesthetic.
we're doing like a music category, like we were talking about, I think this game has some of the coolest, like the way they incorporate music into the game is just no other game besides maybe another game on my list this year does it as well. It's like I forget which island this and what
New
nation.
Caledonia.
Yeah, and it I don't want to say Polynesian vibe, like because I don't know if that is their kind of thing, but it does kind of have that Hawaiian,
Islander.
yeah,
Yeah.
just Pacific Islands kind of thing going on, and
Without a doubt.
I really like Tchia as a character. I think she's just really cool. She gets into these like just the predicaments and with the story, and I don't think she speaks at all, but just kind of Link in Wind Waker, they do a lot with her expression, and she gets into really funny moments and stuff in the story, and it's just a warm blanket game. It's really great.
And it's like a small dev team and stuff too. Very
Yeah.
like indie vibes, but they did a lot with a little. Like, it was really good. Yeah,
And the mechanics, not as impressive as Tears of the Kingdom at all. I don't think any game is as impressive as that, but the kind of jumping in and out of objects thing works really well. You can, jump into a bird, fly up really, really high, and then hang and pop out of the bird transformation, glide down, grab a tree, fling, like you can do this cool rubber banding tree thing that flings you, and then you sail way farther again, and you're looking for landmarks as you go and stuff, and it's just great. I just have a smile on my face the whole time I'm playing that game.
So nice when like a game's mechanics just feel right.
Yeah,
I think that's the reason I enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom a lot was for that specific reason. Like,
interesting take.
there was a lot of shit. Well, I had no problem with any of the mechanics in the game. Even the broken ones where like I can duplicate items. I learned how to do those really good too. So
I chose a no dupe. I didn't no.
I
dupe
did all the way until the end. Tony kept. He was spreading the gospel of the dupe for the first like 3 weeks I was playing the game. He's like, "Yeah, I've done this. I've been everywhere. Killed Ganon with a blindfold on." He kept sending like every other day was like a picture of like new armor sets. And he's like, "Hey, check this shit out." I'm like, "God damn it, Tony!" Just fucking
Tomas and Tony, the dupe duo. That's what they call them.
keep the win. Well,
The dupes of Earl over there.
That's how I beat the game. I got to the end and I didn't know I was there, so I was like, I guess I'm duplicating 50 fairies just to try to beat this game.
Oh, yeah.
Good game is good though.
You cheater. You cheater.
Oh, I eat all the pumpkins, bro.
Kayla, Ryan, either or.
I'll go. Why not? All right. So a couple rapid fire games here. I had on my list here. Hi-Fi Rush, D4, Street Fighter 6, Tears of the Kingdom. There's a bunch of other PC games I won't get into that is really good about this year. Probably my favorite, it would have been Final Fantasy 16. It felt like it was going that way until, unfortunately, I had a mishap with my PS5 that kind of exploded from that game.
That's heartbreaking.
In terms of complete games, fully like realized, I'd have to go Jedi Survivor for my number one right now this year. I was really impressed by Respawn. They really took people's feedback from Fallen Order. They turned upside down. They improved the combat, player customization, open world that offered much more, than looking for cosmetics in a very narrow exploration. That's kind of like Fallen Order. You had to backtrack a lot, which I really didn't like. Narratively, it goes like way deeper than Fallen Order, especially the side characters. What surprised me was how much dialogue there actually was. If you really wanted to pester them, they talked to you so much, and they always had new things to say after like certain acts in the story and what you did. And then, of course, the graphics I think are maybe some of the best this year. Great boss encounters. It didn't hurt that you had variety of what you did, and you can kind of play it the way you wanted, at the difficulty you wanted, and look the way you wanted. It was honestly probably one of the better, or maybe the best Star Wars stories I have like come across in recent years. Maybe not the best, but it's definitely up there in terms of storytelling for a video game. I think it's very good, very grand in scope for what it does.
Is it canon?
I think it is. I think
it. Yeah. It's between. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, right?
I think you're right.
Right. Okay. I think that's it. And the way they ended the second game made me feel very satisfied. It made me really, wonder what's next for the series. No spoilers, but I also had maybe one of my top gaming moments this year that kind of blew me away. Like I was a fucking kid and I just went in and I couldn't stop playing at that certain moment. There's so many good things to say about it, but no spoilers for the half year. I'll say Jedi Survivor. That's probably my number one. Tears of the Kingdom, it's probably my number 5 game this year. Maybe a hot take, but I think it felt like an old MMO to me. There's a lot of repetitive things in it. You do over and over and over and over and over again. The narratively, it doesn't do anything interesting. It's a Zelda game. It didn't blow me away. They do nothing really special with it. I think the mechanics, what they do, is very unique and very fun, and it's very open world, a sandbox game that I can see people really attaching to and loving. But in terms of like, it just didn't feel like a premium game to me. It felt like it had good bones that they kind of like attached to it, and they're like, hey, now we did Breath of the Wild, let's add content to this game. And that's exactly what they did. They, every which way corner, it's a very charming, very fun game. But it's the first Zelda title in my book that might be on the lower end. But that's Jedi Survivor. Yeah.
Damn.
Hot take.
Harsh words from a harsh man.
Like with Tears, I'll echo a little bit of that. I do think it's a premium game, but I do long for I would. If they could have somehow, if this didn't come out on the Switch, somehow, I do want to see what this game could have been on on a PS5, like a triple
on some real hardware.
Yeah, literally, because it is so good. Like the mechanics are so good, the world is so good and stuff, but it has limitations, but it does the most with those limitations. I mean, I don't, it's a hell of a game. But
I just don't get why Pokemon can't do something.
But don't listen to me. I'm old and jaded. What do I know? So.
Nah, you're good, bro.
Go play Guild Wars with your
Oh,
MMO
shit.
bullshit. Get the
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
Go play the same
You're playing
game
a
you've been playing for
15-year-old
15
game
years,
every
right? Oh, when's Guild Wars 3 coming out, bro?
Speaking of old games, I got two that haven't been mentioned yet. I'll say Dead Space. I don't think Dead Space was mentioned.
Yeah.
This was my
Still gotta
first
play
time
it.
The
into
other
Dead
remake.
Space. Right, the other remake, but such a very like small story, small game. They just like it's a total vibe. It's like you are definitely like a young kid playing like this game back in, did it come out in PS2, right?
3.
Right,
3. It feels so much like that game with paint from today, with the ability of today. It just is really impressive what they did. And then I got Hogwarts, obviously.
I was wondering. I was
Beautiful
gonna mention that.
story that opened up, like world that you just want more of. They've never really hit it before. This hits it. And this was the first for the studio, so I do think that there is room to grow. There is more that they can do. They can. What they did is really good. You have some things like I wish that the armor and customization could have gone further. You could have improved that more. I mean, I think they just kind of ran out of time because they have everything in place to make that happen. You get to catch creatures and magical beasts and farm their stuff and create better armor, but it just kind of stops at some point. So
Yeah.
Since
Seems like it could have used some of that premium Tears of the Kingdom content over there.
Damn.
Limitless.
Damn.
Kayla, did you watch the movies first, or did you have you read the books at all?
of Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both.
How do you feel about that game? You know, having consumed both like areas, you know, of content. How did it feel? Like, did it feel like you know, a truly
This feels
great?
like a story. This feels like it's part of the wizarding world. It just feels like you get to, you know, create spells and travel on your broom and travel by flue powder, and you don't have any characters that you're really familiar with, but you're in Hogwarts. You get to find secret passageways. You get to find the house elves in the kitchen and just do all these random puzzles. It is a little repetitive, I can say that. You know, you do a lot of fetch quests, but it's got a lot. The map is covered with stuff.
Yeah, it looked a lot of fun. I haven't played it personally, but it looked, you know, very enjoyable.
Yeah, I like something that ends. I don't need something that's never ending. So it gave me that.
They capture that castle just incredibly well. The nooks and crannies, the staircases, the everything. I mean, like, I'm only a little bit of a Potter fan, and like it still blew me away. Just like there's just
Dueling is
constant
fun.
stuff.
Yeah, dueling, the combat when you interact with the troll dens or whatever they're called, I don't remember now, but it just needs more. Like, you get so overpowered. The moves that you get to do are so cool, but the goblins are only so strong. There's only so many. You overpower, but it's still really, really good.
Yeah, good call. My last one was the Dead Space remake. I'm glad you mentioned it. My three were the Dead Space remake, the RE4 remake, and Tears of the Kingdom. Dead Space remake was just so good. It is one of the scariest games ever, and that the fact that they've updated it to look, it looks phenomenal. Played it on PS5, runs great, plays great, captures all of the tense action and everything from that first one, but they really blew up like some of the kind of just the area, everything. Yeah, the maps. They even added a lot of kind of like a little bit like Metroidvania aspects to it, of like doubling back on optional areas once you get a new item, a new key card, a new thing that like just wasn't in the original. That really expanded kind of your choice in a lot of way. That first one was hyper linear. This is like a little bit less linear and stuff,
Yeah,
and I think it
you
really
can, like,
added to it.
pick up more notes about the other characters and get a little bit more of a peek into other people.
It
Yeah.
looked gorgeous, and it kind of. I watched a lot of gameplay. It spooked me out more than RE4, and I watched
Very spooky.
RE4 all the way through. RE4 looked amazing though for remakes.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, RE4, yeah. I mean, I should have spoke a little bit about RE4.
I
Just
thought
really
that
good.
too. I was like,
Good
all of us
game.
just we like mentioned it and never really said
Well, we
anything.
did talk a lot on the podcast about how much we all loved it. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be just reiterating at this point. But,
Yeah.
like, to me, like, I think I've said it before, that's RE4 now for me. It, like, completely... The first one doesn't really matter to me anymore because this is like the definitive tale of like Leon's story and Ada's story and all that. I just think the additions. I don't know, man. I love the
about that part. It's so silly. The boomies, the shooties. That's what we care about.
Hell yeah.
It's got good boomy shooties.
It's got great boomy shooties. It's great. No, it's just the additions, the new areas, the kind of small little open world kind of segment that it has. I think it all just adds to the experience in a big way. So yeah, RE4 is phenomenal. Love a good remake. We got two really, really good ones. We got 3 that Mike, you didn't mention Metroid at all. I know. Really
Metroid
like that
Prime
one.
remake, very good.
Yeah.
Just they put modern controls on another classic, and it makes it just fit into our modern like kind of gameplay sensibilities and stuff, and it just totally works. That game's great. I'm more of a Prime guy than a 2D guy, and having this and then Dredge a couple years ago has been great for Nintendo to give us some love on the Metroid side for sure.
Oh yeah. Anything else? Is this the definitive list? We've got no. Mike has more.
Go for it.
Ryan mentioned Hi-Fi Rush. I think that game's really cool.
Hell yeah.
What it does with music and the timing stuff, and just the way they animated that game. I don't get how they did it. It looks really cool. I've read, reading games magazines and listening to pods, for a long time. I remember games have always been chasing kind of that animated show or animated movie quality. And this game has it. It just looks like a moving comic, animated series or something that you get to control. And
from Tango
really
too,
fun.
which is the wildest thing. Like
yeah. Right. The spooky people,
and the evil, and like Sebastian Castellanos is in this game as a robot.
Yeah.
It's great.
I thought you'd dig that.
Oh my god, I loved it.
Yeah.
So good.
And man, and it's got really good funny writing too, and games do not do that well. Games can barely handle stories, let alone funny, witty ones, and I think this one has one. I think it just deserves to be mentioned. And Humanity is my last one. It's from the Tetris Effect folks. I haven't played a ton of it, but just what I have played, it is so cool to have these. So you're controlling this like portal of people pouring out of it, and they're walking forward, and you get to control where they go and lead them to the goal at the end. And sometimes you're controlling multiple portals of people, and you're causing them to jump and loop through each other, and it just looks so cool. And it runs really smooth and really well.
An exoprimal like is what they're calling it.
Right. Yeah. I kind of want to see and compare those two, honestly, because Humanity's doing it so well. And it's cool. I want to go back and play more of that and Hi-Fi Rush for sure.
Nice. Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is dripping with charm. I've really enjoyed about 9 chapters into it, I think, out of 12. So,
you are farther than I.
See how it wraps up, but really, really digging it. Love that you don't have to be good at the combat, the like beat-based combat. I'm getting like straight 50% on a lot of the like timing stuff, but it's fine. I'm still like the combat's still really good, regardless of me being garbage at it.
it is kind of, you could either just kind of stick with your basic, XXY kind of combos, or that game early on even like lets you open up so many, finishers, launchers. You're getting all that kind of Devil May Cry style Bayonetta stuff, and if you're into that, it's full of that too. But
Final Fantasy 16 stuff.
It is, yes, yeah. It is way a more chill version of that, which I like. It is grading you at the end of all your fights and stuff, but I don't know. It seems to grade on a curve for me, at least, like where I'm getting like B's and stuff, and I feel good. So
straight B's. I've gotten 9 chapters of straight B's, and it's fine. Yeah,
maybe just
you don't feel bad.
Here's the F.
Yeah. The only times there's certain puzzles where you have to like open a door or whatever with a specific. I'm so bad at those.
Yeah. I'm bad at those too. Like certain treasure chests. What do you want me to do with this?
But
getting 3 stars in Guitar Hero.
It's really good. That it's like shooting up my list as I'm playing it. Good.
Really cool game.
Really good.
Still got half a year to get all the way up there.
Yeah, I think so. The best games list, I think we might have it. We'll see. It's Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Street Fighter 6, Mega Man Battle Network Collection, Tchia, Hi-Fi Rush, Final Fantasy 16, as long as it doesn't blow up your PS5, Jedi Survivor, Dead Space Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, Metroid Prime Remake, and Humanity. What a list! What a game cheer we've got.
What do we got more of? I want to know.
That's not my thing. It's not necessarily that there's more shows, because there's characters and stuff and moments and shows more often than there are in video games. And there's
that's
more
not my fault.
9s. There's more like 9s in my games than there are in shows.
No,
numbers
I'm
are
the
higher.
opposite.
Shout out to my boy Turgle.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We got lots.
He's counting,
All
folks.
right. All right. So if we're
the
going by
numbers,
numbers wise,
I want numbers.
There's 19 shows and there's 12 games.
Landslide!
Damn.
Thank you so
not
much.
like
for it.
just
Shows
going
for
in the
days.
show category.
Yeah, because games take 100 hours to beat. Shows take like 3. So it's not apples to apples here, folks. Mike's a crazy person.
I think shows should have been our finale, but whatever.
They might be for the end of the year.
They might.
And they will. No,
I
I
don't
think
think
so.
so.
I think we kind of poo-pooed the movies a bit, but it's been a really good year.
I got some
all around, so.
good numbers in my movies. Yeah,
It's been a phenomenal year. I think this is one of the it might be a fun exercise near the end of the year or after, like next year or something, to like Ryan mentioned it being one of the best video game years in a long time, and I fully agree with that. It might also be one of the better just media, just pop culture fandom shit years in a long time. It's shaping up that way for me. The first 6 months have been better than the first 6 months of, I think, I don't know, any of the years we've done this podcast, probably for me. So, we'll see. We'll see how it wraps up. It could, could crash the plane or something, but there's a lot of
Mr. Malcolm's list
stuff.
2 could drop later on this year.
Right, and then just cement it. Just.
I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 coming out. That's going to be a huge game. It might be game of the year. We'll see.
Yeah, Starfield, I think it might just be, that might be at the end of the year, the Starfield Tears of the Kingdom talk might be a really fun just conversation at the end of the year that everyone's going to have. We'll see. But that's it. That's the mid-year naughties, folks. It's been a really good first 6 months of the year. A lot of great stuff. Everything from Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves to Jury Duty to Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, come on. What a list, guys. Best year ever? We'll see.
Ooh.
That's episode 133 Not the best year ever. Mike's making a big face. Like I don't know if it's gonna go down as the best year ever, but it's best in some
Good
time,
idea
maybe.
for Bob though. Like
Did Terminator 2 come out this year?
Checking the list.
comes out every year, buddy. New one. It's fresh every year.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's episode 133 of the Machine of Nonsense. Check us out on social media. Let us know what your favorite stuff of the year is. Half year. We'd love to hear it. I'll put a poll up on Spotify. I always do. That you can kind of answer. Yeah, I don't know. That's it, guys. Episode 133 is in the books. We're getting out of here, and we're saying mid-year naughties. See ya.
Bye.
TV rolls, video games drool.
Oh, damn.